everybody, welcome back to the Diamond Rose Show. That's my dog barking at my foot. So, before it was the chinchillas being loud, now it's my dog. I also think she farted because it really stinks, and that's a whole different situation. Anyway, I am back. This past couple of weeks have been very hectic for me. Spring break, I went to Korea, and this is what this video is about. And right after coming from Korea, literally the next day, I shot my very first commercial thing. So it was like, I flew in at 8, and then the next morning I was up at 5. From 5 to 6, I was working on a project. So as much as like it's tiring, I haven't quite gotten over the jet lag, it's very invigorating, it's very exciting. So yeah, I have never done one of these, my trip videos, but I think it'd be very fun considering it's my first time out of the country. I went to Korea to visit my friend Randy, and it was just a very interesting trip in general. The whole process up to the trip itself was just So just to start off, so last semester, like, I didn't have a passport at all. I had never had a passport. So I knew I wanted to visit Randy either in December or spring break. And due to me getting my passport in like November, I had to wait until spring break to do it. So I had my passport. That whole process went fairly smoothly because I'm gonna give y'all little tidbits about stuff. I am a Texas resident, but currently I reside in Utah. So I thought I was gonna have some problems trying to apply for a passport, but it went fairly smooth. They just needed like an alternative like form of identification, which turned out to be my school's ID. So I'm like, fantastic. But I had already was in the process of looking for tickets and whatnot. So I am a frequent flyer, but I've never flown out of the US, but I know that it sucks to fly, even if it's just flying from here to Texas or Texas to Illinois, yada yada yada. It just sucks. It sucks to fly. So my whole thing was, if this is my first trip and this is the one time I have enough money to do this, I want a first class ticket. And so the way that I had it set up is, of course, when I first woke up in the morning, got online, first class tickets from here to Incheon, $5,000. And I'm like, I mean, I have money, but I don't got that money. So I put in a little alert through Google. So this is just tidbits for people that are thinking about going on flights and thinking about traveling. If you put a little, it's kind of like, how Google can send you updates if you put in a certain word. So if you type in Cardi B, Google will send you updates whenever Cardi B's name is mentioned in any, news or whatnot. So I had that set up with a flight plan through Delta. So I only fly with Delta. Delta, hit me up after this. But I only fly with Delta because I've just had much better experiences with Delta. I've flown with, United, Frontier, but like, Southwest and whatnot, but Delta's always done me pretty good. So I put on a little tab where I'm like, just can keep sending me updates about when the prices change for this specific time frame for Delta. So one day, I keep getting updates. It's like 5,000, 6,000. I'm like, ooh, is it going up? Do I need to just go ahead and buy it? Then one day I woke up to an update that said first class ticket, $1,300. And I'm like, is this real? So I went online, 2 tickets left at this price, please buy now. And I'm like, fuck it up. And I bought it, and that just was beautiful. Compared to 5,000, iconic. So I do recommend that if you are looking for tickets and you know that your trip is like a couple of months away, I wouldn't recommend it if your trip is within a month. If it's within a month, go ahead and buy the ticket. There are tons of different websites that you can find discounted tickets on, but this primarily will work if your trip is like months out. So that was super fun. The whole trip, going there was 11 hours. And coming coming back was 9. I don't know how that works, but tailwinds. I'm not a damn pilot, I don't know. But I thought it was super interesting. It was super fun, and then I felt kind of like high class. I'm like, yeah, bitch, got my first class. Because, you know, whenever they're like, oh, we're gonna call premium seating, like, you never listen when they're first calling the numbers because you're always in like zone F. So it was super fun for me. It was a really good experience. So my trip all together, when I got there, Incheon airport is huge. I thought that, which airport did I think was giant? I thought the Denver airport was big. Incheon is huge. And I think the worst part is it's big and a lot of the stuff is in Korean. But since it's an international airport, a lot of it is in Korean and English. But the first thing you see are big, you know, words in Korean. And you're like, oh. And then right at the bottom, it'll say something like, you know, something in English. It's like Terminal F, blah, blah, blah. So that was fun. And when I got there, my phone didn't work because I was not going to pay an extra couple of bucks to up my, you know, plan for 6 days. So I was able to, you know, get on the Wi-Fi and message Randy and whatnot. And that was easy once we figured out, because that place is like 5 stories. But yeah, it was super fun. I got to spend a couple of days there. It felt real. I didn't, just because Randy is stationed at an Air Force base out there, I didn't necessarily go through the whole tourism trap stuff as much as I wish I did. In fact, if I go back next, our trip hopefully is to Japan next time. Hopefully. I do want to get caught up in the tourism traps. Like, trap me, sell me shit. But since Randy has been there for almost a little bit over a year, we kind of navigated the tourism traps. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. I mean, they could have got a lot of money out of me. But it was fun. So Incheon, the airport is about an hour away from Seoul. And then from where we were going, it's about 3 hours. So we took this magnificent bus ride. And it's the most luxurious bus I've ever been on. Reclining seats, personal little air things. And I was like, because when he told me we had to take a bus back to the the base, and I'm like, oh. I immediately started thinking about buses here in the US, so it's like cramped, like it's dirty, it's gross, and no, not at all. These places are banging, like, bless. Bless. So that was really interesting, and it was super fun and comfortable because I had just got off of an 11-hour flight. I really wasn't keen on sitting for another 3 hours, but it was very nice for me to just lean back. Randy's right next to me, and I'm like, I'm gonna pet the little face. It was very, very nice. And so getting there, I have to admit that I had to check kind of my Americanized view of things, because what I was thinking that I was gonna see was Japan, but not all Asian countries are the same. And specifically in my mind, I'm thinking Tokyo. But Korea itself is very agricultural. So the place we were going, there's a lot of farmland. It's really wet because, you know, it's rainy, it's wintertime. And it wasn't like glitz and glamour and like there's no Hello Kitties everywhere and bitches ain't taking pictures of you. It was very, you know, toned down and very relaxed, which I can really appreciate. So at first I was like, what? I was looking for something that's like my aesthetic. And I had to realize these are two different like countries with different like situations. Like Japan, technological, all that jazz. Korea, agricultural. So that was something I had to learn and had to get out of my American mindset. So once we got there, it was a relatively chill time. It was really a good way for me and Randy just to reconnect because I haven't seen him in almost a year. So I wasn't really big on the whole, let's tour, yada, yada, yada. Like, yeah, I made him like take me into town because I'm not just gonna sit and stare at you for 6 days. As much as I could, I couldn't do that. So we did go into town, and one of my most vivid memories of being in the town, and I did not take a picture of it. I should have taken a picture of it. We went to this American buffet, which is weird. Like, what? I think it was just a way for him to show, like, you know how we have Japanese and Korean and Chinese buffets, like, this is what they think Americans eat. So it was all very it was interesting food. It was good food. I mean, I ate. But one thing that struck me as odd is, like, I came up to the drink station and on the drinks it said strawberry latte, and I'm like, oh, that sounds dope. So I pour it and I'm looking at it. I'm like, it's bright pink, there's little bits of strawberry, and I'm like, all right. I go sit down. I drink it. It's strawberry milk. Just strawberry milk, a little bits of strawberries in it. And I look at Randy, I'm just like, I've been bamboozled. I was shocked. But I'm like, I'm not gonna, we're at a buffet, so it's not like I could be like, take this back. I want a latte. It's just, I thought it was very funny. I was like, this is strawberry milk. Like, whatever. We did have to take taxis everywhere, so that was brand new for me. Because the only time I hear about people taking taxis is, you know, if they're New York City, Austin, Houston, stuff like that. So I had never taken a taxi before. And this taxi, though, and I don't know if it's just this guy or I don't know what it is, but this dude was off the chain. So we're at a stoplight, and I'm like, oh, you know, yeah, look at all the cars, look at the, you know, streets and whatnot. This dude, we're in the back of a couple of cars. He stops, turns around, and gets around the car. We're still at a stoplight. Zooms right through it. And I'm like, we're gonna fucking die here. And I'm just like looking at Randy, I'm like, how is this normal? And he's just like, that's what they do. And consistently, that particular driver, whenever we get to a stop sign, he'll stop, look around, and just zoom through it. And I'm like, I mean, we got places to be, but we ain't got to be there that fast. So it was culture shock for, I guess, driving, because, like, I consider myself a very cautious driver, because I'm, like, trying to #live. But overall, it was a very fun experience. I made him take me to Lotte Mart. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but basically it's a giant ass store. And sorry, my dog is trying to chew on something and I'm trying not to get it. Don't. And it was just this giant kind of like department store, but it was a grocery store. And so of course I went in there and I was like, I want all the snacks, all the cool snacks. And one of my favorite snacks that we got were called pancakes. And they were like, there's a picture. I'm gonna put a picture. Don't worry about it. They were pancakes, but inside was like gelatin-like syrup, and I was like, oh, I want to bring some back. But the way that, you know, the United States have shit set up, you can't bring stuff back. So I had that while I was with him, and it was a really nice time. I needed to get away, and so I didn't realize how much I needed to get away until it was like the first night, and I was like, no one's calling me because they can't. No one's emailing me. It's nice just to be quiet with someone that you actually like, someone you miss. So there was that. And then I flew back, and then the next day I had to shoot this commercial thing. I can't even describe it, but I was just up and running for almost a week. So this is like my first downtime. School, we're getting into April, and everybody knows that's in school, that's a parent, that's a teacher, that's a student. April is not the month to fuck with. April is, it separates the people who studied from the people that just showed up on the last day of class, because I have so much due, I have so many papers due, and I'm trying my best to balance that as best as I can. So, bear with me. I actually made a video besides this one earlier, and I did not post it. So, you'll see it eventually. Which means that I have 2 videos coming out. Anyway, thank you for listening to my rambling. I just wanted to tell someone about my trip. I don't have many friends. So yeah, if you'd like to start donating to my Patreon because you like listening to me talk, like listening. Well, yeah, that's right. Go ahead and follow the link in my thing, whatever. And if you would like to send me questions so I can answer them for you with the next Ask Diamond installment, sending, the Diamond Rose, send it to the Diamond Rose Show at gmail.com, and we'll get that started again. So for all my peeps out there that's in school, teachers, janitors, everybody, please have a good April. A blessing. Good April. Bye.